Welcome to the September project, otherwise known as the Haunted Stitcher. Good morning, welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. I am fast forwarding because it was a 50-minute video. If not, I spared you of me being silly for 50 minutes. I'm cutting out my words, my story page, and it says Lizzie Gordon inherited her grandmother's sewing machine. My paste ingredients are coming this afternoon, so hopefully your next video shows some more texture. But I was trying to replicate texture the only way I know how, without using lots of chemistry skills, is to just glue a bunch of random paper on a piece of paper and go for it and see what happens. And I was trying not to second guess myself. I was trying not to think at all, which is my normal MO for the day. I'm not trying not to think. But I decided I didn't want teeny tiny pieces there, and I could have put teeny tiny pieces there, but I pulled them out. And then I started backtracking with a little bit of sewing stuff that's sitting right here. Not really worried about color per se. You know, does this color match this color on the color wheel? Is it opposite? Is it near? Is it a gray tone? Whatever. That's too much like chemistry for me also. So I just went with what was on top in the basket right next to me that's causing the shadow, and what might be laying right next to me or underneath this piece of paper. And I tore off one of my little, those little 2x2 tablets, that's, you can barely see it now. It's right under the top of the middle of the white paper. I thought, okay, I like the placement of those shapes, and I was going to use that as that right there. I was going to use my, that as a guide of, where to place shapes, how to cut them, so that my chemistry flows a little better. As you can tell, I totally ignored it. Oh, I don't even follow my own rules. But I don't hate what's happening here. And then I thought, okay, wait a minute. Leave some white space and fill in color on the white space. And see what happens. And these half circle shapes keep showing up in my head. That might be, the shape of my brain. Most people's brains are like a fist. Mine's a half circle. And thus the no chemistry rule. I don't know. But I used the same 3 colors, and then I got out the Stabilos and used those same 3 colors. Tempera paint sticks and Stabilos, all in the 3 same shades. This coral color, a mint ice cream chocolate chip green, and a really pale yellow. They're pastels. There's no color in my papers that are pastels, but that's neither here nor there. Chemistry, hello. So I just started adding color where there was no color, and then trying to create spaces that didn't exist by putting in haunted stitcher. Some places says stitches, and some places says stitcher. Same outcome. And then I tried to fill in some places and act like I'm an abstract artist with a chemistry degree. I don't know if I succeeded, but that's not the goal in some of these instances. It's always the goal is to have fun and create a therapy session and, block out the noise of the world. And I really, then I decided I needed a neutral, so I brought in gray. And I really this is a fun exercise. Highly recommend it. Get a piece of paper. Put some clippings of stuff from your chemistry lab in no pattern whatsoever. Then add some color to the white spaces. And then just see what happens. And maybe some scratchy words. See what happens. So I was trying to block in some sections and see if I could find an actual place that I liked the best. Not successful. So then I decided to do the next best thing after I dry it. I turned it over and I cut it into sections, quilt blocks, if you will, and picked out the ones I liked and rearranged the ones that were left. This is not a unsuccessful experiment here. Really, really like it. And I like that one right there. And I'm turning over the other ones so that I can't be influenced. But see, if you put all these four together that I don't like per se, I don't hate that paper either. I don't hate it. I'm sure it's blowing all the real artists, if anybody watches that's a real artist, out of the water. And they're like, who does this girl think she is? Who does this chemist think she is? Luckily, I work in my own chemistry lab. So I'm having to bring it back and remember that this is, Lizzie inherited her grandmother's sewing machine. So I'm cutting out pictures of gears that I printed from Google Images and just generic gear shapes. And there's a little bit of the paper showing from yesterday. So the little bit of the page showing. So I put some more paper down. And underneath it says something about special character. And I'm like, you are a special character. You are a special chemist for sure. But in the end, it's all working. It's all working for me. Would it win any art show awards? I don't know. Would it look better if it was bigger? Would it look better if it was smaller? I don't know. But the whole thing about this journey that I'm on in an art journal and every month is just having fun and just creating. And I have to remember not every single piece is going to go in the Smithsonian. Well, no, nothing would go in the Smithsonian because I'm not right-wing enough. But I kind of really, I just kept going. And that's something I'm really trying to focus on this month is just keep going. You may not like it right now. Keep going. And it's only paper. If you mess it up, I didn't even have to put this video online if I messed it up. Then I wrote machine in places with the pen doesn't always work right because there's so much texture going on here and so many layers of color. And I'm good with all that too. This was great. This was great. And then I decided I did not like the writing. I don't like the blue that is underneath all the words here. And I already did that on Procreate, but I don't like it. So then I went through this little tiny book that's sitting here, and I went for a more plain piece of paper in this little book, and I wrote it in my own writing without a dark blue background. And that's better. But I still need to blend it in and make it look like it was intentional and all one piece here. So I brought in the colors underneath, kind of went on top and added all that in there. And then I went around with a black pen and I added gears where there weren't gears. And that to me was a really good lesson. And they're not always even in the right place or all the way around. Some of the gears are stripped off. Some of my gears are stripped off too. That's why they won't let me loose by myself in the chemistry lab. But this was so fun. This was so fun. I just sat here and I'm listening to music. I'm, hoping my battery doesn't die on my camera and having great fun. And I would say that I got my money's worth on this therapy session. Yes, very much so. Very much so. Really, really like it. So thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.